We'll do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's everyone. Yes, attendance. Kathy.
Here.
Pete.
Here.
Bob. Here. Chad. Here. Josh.
Sir.
Marcy.
Here.
Austin. Present. And Dave.
Everyone's out.
Yep, we're missing Jerry tonight. He always does a good job, so.
So do you. You did.
You'll do
I
fine.
try. So I guess, so Mrs. Higgins can, speak and then get out. She doesn't have to sit through the, whole meeting. We're gonna take public comment, so feel free.
I've written and rewritten this, and I'm not a public speaker, so please bear with me. I flip burgers and eggs and pancakes. This is not my, and I'm not a bitcher and a complainer, but I feel like I need some information. I received, I had a fire call back in whenever it was. 8 weeks after that, I received a bill. I thought it was a scam. I didn't pay any attention to it. I just kind of set it aside. And then I started hearing a couple weeks later, people talking about them getting bills from the fire department. And I couldn't understand that. I know you're not a volunteer department anymore. I know this is paid. I assumed that the town of New Carlisle funded the fire department, paid the salaries, whatever that meant, and that money came from taxes, tax money. So I'm here to find out, how are you funded? Who pays you? And why all of the sudden are residents and business owners being billed for services? And to go another step further, are we billed even when you're not called out, but you arrive and no services are served? I need to know that too. Because a few months after that, we placed a non-emergency call to the police department, and we received 2 fire trucks and an ambulance before the police arrived. And I was very upset. And I told the fire department, you were not called, you're not needed here, I don't want you here. I didn't want more charges because I don't understand what is going on with the fire department.
Sure.
And that's not good for me to do that. And even with this bill, this has cost me more than this bill because that pissed the fire department off and now they don't come into my restaurant anymore. So I need to know how this is working so I can understand it better.
Okay, so historically, from anytime that the fire department, even when we were volunteer, after a fire, there would be a bill set, residents, businesses, anything, because insurance companies would pay that. So we did adopt that once we became that, because we do have disposals, right? I mean, the tax money pays for all the people on the street, the fire trucks, the fuel, all that stuff, but we have disposables that do get used. There's a state statute that supports that. We adopted that. The intention is not to burden residents and business owners, right? It's actually designed because insurance policies have this rider on those policies that pay that. So how we've handled it is that if somebody does get a bill, and we've had 2 now, probably the same person that you heard at the diner talking about it, notified us, and instantly we called the billing company and said, it's got to go, right? It's not, that's not the intention. If we don't know that you didn't file with your insurance company, we just don't know that. And so that's that piece of it, right? Sure.
Okay, so, I'm not one to file on insurance.
Sure.
I mean, you've all had insurance, you've all backed into something and said, damn it, and I'm not making a claim. I'll just pay it out of pocket. I don't want to claim, your rates go up, or they're gonna cancel you if you have too many claims. But I've also been told then, is it true that if someone receives a bill and then they turn that into their insurance, you just accept whatever the insurance pays?
So
That's enough?
some insurance companies have a cap, right? So if that cap is $500, if it's $1,000, the bill is based on the state statute. So your bill was
Yes,
$750-ish dollars.
yeah.
That's set forth by the state of Indiana, so we can't bill any more for it, right? That's just what it is. And so if your insurance policy says that we're only gonna pay $500, then yes. And that's actually the same with an ambulance call, right? If you were to call the ambulance and your insurance only pays X, we don't do that. It's called balance billing. We don't do that. So, I apologize for this. I mean, I heard about this after the fact when you called the township and I said, well, just send her to me. I'll take care of it. And she was like, she didn't want to talk to you.
I didn't know it was you, and I didn't want to come to the fire department like I said, I'd already pissed them off. I'm not
Oh.
down here to do
They're
something
resilient.
else. I wanted to try and figure out on my own where you're funded, where this is all coming from. I wanted to, and it was very hard to find out anything, actually, like anything.
I have a couple of questions. Disposables, just give me an example.
Fire extinguishers disposable.
Okay.
Kitty dry, or not kitty dry,
Oil dry.
oil dry,
Yeah, yeah,
things like that.
Okay.
It's just tarps, all things that we may use.
okay.
And that's all in a form with the company we use for billing. I could tell you the original intention, especially as a paid, when we became paid, was to capture out of towners. And I know that sounds terrible, but as people traverse through our area, the problem is it's indiscriminate billing or discriminate billing. So we try to handle it more on a local level so we don't burden the citizens, because we already know the tax rate.
But speaking on a local level, that brings me to outsourcing the bill. I mean, I got this bill from somewhere in California and I'm like, California, in Carlisle, that's why I thought it was a scam. So I'm thinking, I don't know who funds you guys. Like, why wouldn't I get a bill from someone in St. Joe County or New Carlisle?
Major reason for that is cost. So we can't afford to have the software, the people and everything to do the billing, so we outsource billing.
But you're already
For that?
inputting all that information. You're inputting my name, my address, how long you were there, blah, 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 to someone else to just send me that paper that says,
Because you have to be set up to bill insurance companies
oh, okay.
and receive from insurance companies. Just like our EMS billing is done through a company located in North Carolina called EMSMC. Used to be Acumed out of Michigan, but
And
everything
we
else
get
they
that
got
call
bought
quite a
out.
bit. We get
Yeah.
that call quite a bit. Say, is this a scam? And I'm like, I'm sorry, no, it's not a scam. It typically has our patch on the top. But yeah, it is a trouble.
And that does bring up a good point that I didn't think of until just now. On our website, we referenced the EMS billing and that it would come from North Carolina, blah, blah, blah. We
Oh,
don't
so
know,
that's
we don't,
different than the fire department? Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
we
Like,
don't,
they don't get two bills if you both show up.
Correct.
Okay.
Only one bill.
Yeah.
well, and we are just one, but EMS billing is for ambulance transport or treatment. And on that point, I do want to make one, just so that there's no miscommunication. When he said we don't balance bill patients for EMS transports, patients may still get a bill based on their insurance deductible standard.
It's a different, yeah.
So the deductible plays into a difference there. So just because a patient is getting a bill doesn't mean it's a balance bill. It may be because of deductible.
I have another question. I have another question then. So do you have some sort of a rated billing system for like these calls?
So it's set forth by, so it's in Indiana code, right?
Okay.
That's where that comes from.
So,
A lot of this is statewide, then?
Yep.
Okay.
Almost, and I will say, there's probably only one, maybe two fire departments in St. Joe County that don't. And because of issues like this. And again, you can ask Chad, I've been highly resistant to do that, but if you sit here for a little longer, when I start talking about shortfalls in budget, because the way the state's changed the tax code, it's miscellaneous revenue. And it, again, it's not intended to burden our citizens. It just, it
This
is.
is what it looks like. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
So it is mentioned where the EMS comes from. Is there any mention of where?
No,
We add
we're
that?
gonna, yes.
Let's do that.
So is it also, you're billing in hour increments only?
That is how it's set up
Yeah.
through PA with, or, PA.
I'm
Yeah.
just wondering, I mean, they were, their minutes and put it out, awesome, but then it was billed as an hour. And there was just one other thing in there that I disagreed with, and it said that it collected the waste or something. They didn't take anything, they didn't clean up anything, they didn't.
I'd have to, since I haven't seen, I mean, I can follow up on it 100%. If we can take a picture of it. Is that okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then just make sure, you know, what you got and.
Do you mind if I-
The other piece I do
No,
want,
go ahead.
I want to touch on is, so when you called the non-emergency line for the second call,
Yes,
that, what happens is, even if you call the non-emergency line, police aren't, they have no idea that the damage to your structure, what that is. It could just be a property damage, but they don't know that. And when it involves a structure, they're like, yeah, we're out. So roll it to the fire department. That's how that happens. We don't interject ourselves into any of that. That's done at the dispatch level.
I had that impression that it was the dispatcher saying, hey, even though we said, we don't need an ambulance, we do not need the fire department. The gutters, they flipped the corner in the gutter with,
Yeah.
you know. The guy wanted to file a claim, it was a U-Haul truck. Okay, we need a police officer to do that. But I lost it when I saw 2 fire trucks and ambulance and no police.
Yeah, so,
I'll admit that,
So-
because I don't understand how this works. Like, I don't know that you answered though, like, where does your funding come from?
it's all tax-based. Well,
And
no,
is it all like
No.
St. Joe County? Is it by township?
it's St. Joe County and LaPorte County by township,
Okay,
by residents. So it'd be a property owner, whether it be business, farm, or residential. However, that, and that's, again, that's we're a fire protection territory. We have a tax rate that we set and we levy. It's on your tax bill.
see, and I looked and I didn't see that, like, it wasn't listed fire.
It's probably listed as township.
Did you receive, so you called for, police, did you receive a bill from them? This is the first I'm hearing of us bill, I didn't know this, so I'm
So
learning.
this is
myself.
I'm pretty sure you voted no when we talked about it.
That took 8 weeks to get, so it hasn't been 8 weeks for me to know if I'm getting a bill. That was my other question, like,
Okay.
I don't know if I'm getting a bill,
Yeah.
it's only been a couple weeks. I don't know if they're charging me for that. I didn't call for that, I just wanted a police officer.
Well, I know I've had the ambulance and I did get a bill from Olive Civil Township at some point or other, but it takes a while and it goes through Medicare or whoever
Mhm.
and. it
This would be
takes
like
forever.
not my homeowners, but my
Yeah,
business
business
owners. And
insurance.
I don't wanna claim.
Hmm.
It's too easy for them to cancel you when you make claims. I
Then
don't
I
wanna
don't
claim.
think they could do it. They can cancel you for.
They can cancel you for whatever they wanna cancel you for. I mean, they have the right to whatever, just raise your rates and it's tough dealing with insurance companies.
I hear it. So this is the first incident, and you expect there
There won't be.
won't be.
It's like actionable item, right? I mean, we get called to lots of places and then disregarded or, you know, we're just unneeded and
Is 750 the state statute cap?
no, it's not, so it gets way
That
difficult.
was an actual call. They came
Right.
out and that was an
They
actual
fought a
call.
fire.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. I
So-
just wondered, they weren't there an hour, but I did wonder if it was billed in hour increments.
Yeah.
And he said yes.
yes.
Okay.
So it's,
Did you want-
I show up, it's one rate.
Yeah.
A fire engine shows up, it's another rate.
Okay.
An ambulance shows up,
Okay.
doesn't count.
So
Doesn't
there's no
count towards-
cap to this kind of thing.
No,
Okay.
and then so you have, again, if we want to go back to intention, you go out to State Road 2 and you have all these accidents. Well, most of these accidents are transients from
Sure.
other places, and so we're able to capture that revenue. And this is an unfortunate.
So is there any, I understand there's no discrimination, but when somebody makes an appeal, can we impact that?
Yep, and that's what that's what we've done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I want to clarify, you said that, something about the collection charge, that wasn't done. So there's something on the bill that wasn't
Oh,
actually done. Is it on that bill?
yes. Let me see how.
Just to be clarified, this has been, we intend to handle this?
It's already been handled. Yep.
Okay, but you, and this is an information gathering, I appreciate it.
I was just,
I had no idea.
I was just told that Josh was going to take care of that. But again, I didn't know if that meant this was a real service,
Yep.
or if they're talking about the ambulance and fire trucks showing up that I didn't call for. I didn't know what that meant by, he was dismissing the charges. I didn't know what that meant. So right here, it's,
Pretty lofty sounding, dismiss the charge.
hazardous materials cleaned up and contained for disposal. I don't know what that meant. They didn't do anything. We had to clean up. They did not take anything. That could just be standard within their
This
charge.
funds the miscellaneous? You were saying?
It goes into miscellaneous revenue.
Okay, what portion of our budget is miscellaneous?
For next year, it's like $225,000. That includes EMS billing too.
Okay, and that's what we anticipate.
Yes, we're anticipating.
So she's here, we're getting to the bottom. I want to know. So she said she didn't want the fire department there. Was that just a precautionary move, I'm guessing? Don't know.
If the dispatch center calls us, we have to go because,
Mhm.
so say, here's a perfect example. We had a fire at 5 Star Sheets. And on our way there, we got a call that said, hey, we don't need you. We have a policy, we have to go check because once we got there, their baler was completely on fire and they were evacuating the building.
Oh,
So that's what, it becomes a liability on us that, we don't go. We heard that we can't go.
yeah.
That's why I thought I was going to be charged again because whoever it was that came walking up to me, I said, I did not call for you and I do not need your services. I don't want you here. He said, I have to make sure your building is secure. And I said, it was a gutter that was hit. That's it. He said, I have to make sure you're,
Yeah, that's his,
so that's why I thought I would be charged
Yes.
again.
Who?
Gotcha.
the captain on the truck,
Yeah,
yeah.
And having gone through this with remodeling a church building, you have a commercial building, the public is coming in. Is your assessment sufficient?
Yeah.
So so the right thing was that, in my opinion, the right thing was that it did come out.
In hindsight, yes.
Okay.
I just, do I have to be charged for that?
Right.
You're not.
But I mean, I understand you're waiving that, but. like-
No, I'm not waiving that one because that's never gonna be a bill. It would never be a bill.
Okay.
It's not like, again, it's not like, trying to think of a good example. I'm gonna give it a terrible, it's a good example, but a terrible example. You have somebody that has a cardiac event and they pass away. They don't get a bill, right? They don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terrible good example.
Terrible good example, right? It doesn't. And
But do you still bill their insurance company?
no, we don't. Well, that's because that's been me, because most departments do. And it's like, man, I
Yeah, no.
I have a hard time. They got a lot on their plate, right? So, we've taken that moral stance not to do that. And again, it's just how an insurance company can cancel you in a second. It's just if they're gonna pay it, we need to take advantage of that, not to hurt you in any way, but these insurance companies do what they want to do. And, I don't want to get into that.
Yeah,
Insurance company really irritate me too.
I understand that.
So with the gutter, basically at this point, we're looking for possibly there was like a safety hazard.
Right.
And that's,
That's what I assumed he meant by your building is secure. I have to make sure your building is secure.
Because
Yes.
it came out, so the call was vehicle into a building.
okay.
That's the information that we get. That's not the information you probably relayed, but that's the information we get. So we got guys scrambling like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
do we have to call, a helicopter and special rescue teams? We just don't know. Yeah.
No one is hurt. No, it was gutters hit and,
Yeah.
yeah.
You get them put back up? How long ago
Actually-
was this?
Actually, they were there yesterday,
No.
Tuesday, yes.
When did this call happen?
It was, the Monday before,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
fascinating. Learned a lot.
But, and so, because of this instance, So the billing goes through, the system and then gets sent out. And so now we put a check into place to ensure that this isn't happening, right? The only thing I would say, my only pause is that if we don't know, and maybe we can do a little bit better, while we're at your fire, if we're getting your insurance company information and you go, whoa, we're not gonna,
No one has ever asked.
right,
I'm glad of that, because I mean, unless we get up there and we really have something happen,
Right.
yes, I'll file a claim, but
right.
other than that.
But we can do better on our end to make sure that we're trying to filter that.
There's one other thing on that bill that I noticed, and someone else had told me too, like, you can't just mail them a check. You have to do it online, and I'm not that tech savvy, I'm not that comfortable with, you have to give them your debit card information online. Is there any way you can get them to change that? I mean, it's
I'll make a note.
easier for us old people to just
I'll
put
do
a
it.
check in.
Drop
the
in.
mail.
You got it, no, I'm fine. I will have to check.
It says invoice can be paid by credit card or e-check, and then it gives you the blah, blah, blah.com.
Okay. I will look into that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think that.
Thank you for bringing that.
Yep. I
I,
appreciate it.
Are you comfortable with the answers that you've got?
let me look and make sure I covered all my, yes, because I definitely wanted to make sure that we're not being charged when they show up and they don't have a service, they don't do us a service other than like check the building or whatever, but, okay. Yeah, I'm comfortable with the way, and I appreciate you waiving that. I wasn't coming here looking for someone to just dismiss that bill. I wanted to know why we're getting this bill when I thought taxpayers' money went to fund the fire department.
Very good.
So it's still weird to me though. Why are you saying New Carlisle? Like, when I went to the town hall, they're like, we have nothing to do with the fire department.
I'll give you the abbreviated version. So all these fantastic members represent their communities. And we were the New Carlisle Fire Department for since 1880.
A long time.
And so our government name is
Oh, God.
the Olive Township, New Carlisle, Hudson Township Fire Protection Territory. So,
So that territory thing is all new to the name, right?
no, well, it's 5 years old.
Is that how long you've been in a paid position?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
I didn't even know how long that had been.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yes, I think everything.
Good.
Any questions for me?
No, I
I'm
don't-
glad to.
Thank you. I'm glad I found the right people to talk to and come down and get this taken care of, because it was definitely bothering me. And like I said, I apologize. I should come down here and talk to you guys and apologize, but
They're fickle, they'll be all right. I promise you, they'll be back.
I was fickle that day too, so.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Deb.
Keep up the good
I can
work.
tell you they like the diner way better.
Thank you.
All right.
I'd like to motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll make a motion to adopt it.
Good.
You make the second?
What's that?
Austin, Bob.
So, Bob, second.
Thank you for that. I want that credit.
Motion passes.
But make them,
Um,
Those
Oh,
in
make-
favor.
All
so-
those in
those in
favor.
favor, I'm sorry, yeah.
aye,
Aye.
nays.
Opposed.
No opposed.
No, you.
Oh, is anybody opposed?
Silence.
Silence, okay.
Motion said pass.
All right, motion passes. Okay, consent items. We're gonna make a motion on the consent items.
I motion to approve the meeting minutes from last month,
Oh,
the last two meetings.
Last two meetings, yeah.
I'll second it.
Okay, everybody, in agreement with that?
Aye.
Any nays?
Okay, so we begin to sign it then?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Got two of them to sign.
While we're signing, do you want to do the calls?
Sure. I just gonna, I know you guys hear me say this all the, this is actually that we added some September numbers in here since it's so late in the month. We want to make sure. In our Olive Township meeting, we're literally on track to have 1,200 fire and EMS calls this year. Record was 983,
What were
right?
you expecting?
Huh?
What were you expecting?
I always tried to get to that 1,000 mark, and I know that sounds bad, right? But the busier you are, the better it is, right? So to get to 1,200 though is kind of surprising to me. You know, I can't say that that's a constant, because our calls track from about 2011. It's been on a 20% trajectory, and then we got to 2023 and it dropped. I think 890 was that number, and then we jumped back up into the 940s, and then now we're looking at 1,200. So we've seen substantial that brief plateau. We're jumping up. So
I like the map, by the way.
good. Chad has worked very hard on that. He went to a class, a GIS class to learn how to do some of this. And it kind of just pinpoints, the map can get way more in depth with some heat signatures and all that stuff.
And just to clarify, this is just in August, those are August, but the year to date includes September numbers? Or does the?
Oh, I guess he must not have got to it. No, it doesn't, because we're at like 820 at this point.
Okay.
The instance of multiple calls, that's kind of, it's still going, but 21%, so that stays up there. But like right now, Chad left because we had a second call. So we're making sure that residents are getting he's a paramedic, so they're getting the highest level of care they're gonna get until the ambulance gets there. Commercial inspections are still where they're at. They've ramped up over the last 2.5 months. And you're gonna see a real big push going towards the end of the year as well. So, not just Amazon, we're talking.
Is that mostly these 4 for August?
Yeah, most, that 4 actually doesn't include Amazon.
Okay.
We've created some subtypes of inspections, and we want to make sure that we're capturing all, because I know, one of Jerry's requests, and I'm just gonna mention it, he wanted to, he wanted Zach to come here and talk about it. Well, as a deterrent, part of that presentation was how we could find Amazon for their misgivings. Well, we just got a decision back from the Attorney General Todd Rokita, and we cannot. So we've had to adjust some of that, and that's why there's no presentation for that yet, because we're trying to find ways to detour them from being bad.
I like that.
Any questions on the report?
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So what, we're changing meeting dates, it looks like, because of the holidays?
Yes, sir. They fall on Thanksgiving and Christmas, so
Okay.
if everybody has their calendars, maybe we can kind of. Honestly, I mean, I don't know from this point forward what more business that we're gonna have. If you want to try to make one meeting that's closer to the end of November and beginning of December, and then if we need it, we can do it.
We do the week prior. I like the monthly meetings myself.
Oh, that's fine. It doesn't matter to me.
I agree, but could we do? Is anything falling the week before this monthly? I mean, I know we moved it to the last year because it was close enough to the beginning of everybody's meetings.
Yeah. So are you talking
My phone.
the 20th would be November? Is that what you're talking about, the week before?
Yeah, because you're saying, I mean, I'm not looking at my schedule.
Thanksgiving's the 27th.
Okay, so if we
I
do,
have the 20th written down already, fire territory
oh,
540.
perfect. Can we do that?
So we must have, I didn't
Maybe we
make it
did
up,
this one.
we must have had it right.
So move it to the 3rd.
So the
Thursday?
20th of November,
Mhm.
fire territory, and in December, I've got it on the 18th.
So we must
The
have, moved
third.
it. We already addressed this.
We must have.
Is that just
Oh,
for
that's November 20th?
November and December, and we're still doing the last week of October?
That's what I have.
Yeah, we would still keep that
Okay.
October meeting.
It's. Is it Susie, some of
Yep.
the reminders?
Yep.
Feel free.
Yep, October 30th.
Mars, would you say December 18th? Is
Yeah.
that what you had?
Mhm.
Okay, yep, all right.
Perfect.
So I'm assuming everybody will be good with that?
Yep.
Okay. Keith, you?
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's what we'll do.
What was October?
30th.
When is it?
November, I will.
Okay.
You traveling the world, are you?
Yes,
Good for you.
Where now?
Panama Canal, South America.
That's awesome.
In South America.
That's really sad.
Boat?
I'm thinking a big boat.
Are you taking the cruise? Oh, cool. I was just teasing, but. Okay, moving on. Excess levy appeal.
All right, so, Marcy, Austin, and Bob, you all have a thing. So I need to talk, I touched on it briefly previously. A mechanism by which the state would give the fire territory to grow. Let's talk about historical. We've never really needed this option, right? Because we had the growth quotient in the state of Indiana, and then you grow, and we've been fine with that. That's all been pretty good. But with Senate Enact Bill 1, you'll see this piece of paper with the highlighted deductions. That these are projected deductions. They could be more, they might be less. Well, if your area, your protected area grows faster than the state, you can adjust your levy. And I don't want to get levy confused with, even though the levy's listed in dollars, I don't want to get confused with budget, right? The budget is what the budget is. It is. But our budget and our levy are equal, right? We budget what we levy. That's the taxpayer's bill. So there's no, when they've taken our ability, that growth quotient away, that levy could grow, and then we could grow and then we could raises or equipment purchases or whatever that is. That's how we fulfilled that. Well, now they've removed that. And so we're going to start losing money. And $27,000 each year for the next 3 years, and it actually goes out to 2031. It starts to compound. The other thing we lose is currently we're going to be losing the township lit, because the township lit goes away after this year. I think that, or no, after next year, it goes away. So we're going to lose another additional $41,000 on top of that. So again, we still have to buy equipment, we still have to pay people, we still have to do all that stuff. And instead of seeing it go this way to support that, it's going to start going this way, and we're not going to be able to support it. So this mechanism has always been in place, but we've never needed to do it. Actually, until last year, we never grew to a point where we could do it. The development has spurred that growth. And it could generate up to another $410,000. So now that brings to the conversation is, but each board has to approve that. And I need, again, to make it clear, we're not asking for more money. We're asking the ability to raise more money when we start seeing shortfalls due to Senate enacted Bill 1. So does that make sense?
And that's what it's coming down to. It's a Senate enacted bill. Okay.
It's already in law.
Yeah.
So people are basically in St. Joe County, the lit goes away and they can redistribute it. But what the feedback we're getting from St. Joe County now goes, we don't know how much money we're going to have, so we really can't allocate any money yet. There will be, but so now we're kind of guessing, and that's the safeguard, right? The safeguard is that we're not asking to tax the taxpayers more. We're just asking to give us our bubble. So if all that money gets taken away, we don't have to start reducing staff or reducing something. That's what we're asking for. So, and then the process is, just so you guys know, each board has to pass that, and I'm more than happy to come talk to the boards. And you're gonna hate me, but it's October 21st is that deadline.
I thought the hiring additional people was included in that somehow. You're gonna hire 3 new full-time people to.
I don't think that we are. I would like to move to that model, but I also don't want to cash strap. I don't want to make that commitment.
Okay, because it is a commitment.
Yes.
You hire the people, you gotta pay them.
Yes, sir.
So
Sorry.
you're saying that the levy isn't an additional tax?
Yes. They're correlated. They're
Yeah.
very much correlated. But, think of pots of money, right? You have a big master pot of money, that's the levy, and then you fund the budget out of that master pot. Well, when your levy equals your budget, you empty that pot into your budget pot. All this is doing is adding more, potential money in that pot, but that money stays in your bank or it stays in the taxpayer's pocket until we need it. And then that becomes another discussion, say, hey, you know, it's a collective bargaining year for 2027. We're gonna need some more money for raises. It's in the levy, so we can raise our budget to meet that demand.
And at that time, the tax would be increased.
Yes, the 27 pay 28.
How long is this good for? This is a 3-year growth factor. Is this covered?
That grows the levy indefinitely. It doesn't revert. Once it grows, it just stays at that level. And then it's capped by the state. After the first of the year, you won't be able to grow that levy anymore. It's gonna be cemented.
Yeah.
Now, full pause. If they change the law, this may be for a moot point, but this is like a one-shot deal, right? I mean, you either do it and gamble that they're gonna fix it,
Mhm.
or you do it and then hope that you don't need to dip into that pot.
And again, this is opening up the door or leaving the door open to those funds, but we're not necessarily taking those from the citizens yet
Correct.
at this point.
Yep. Okay.
I'll probably need you to come talk to the
Absolutely.
council. So
Do you want to have like an executive session that I could talk to them? So can today?
it's so hard for us to get together for anything. I mean, we can
Right.
try.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's
just, at a meeting, they're gonna be looking at me sideways and.
I know,
Um,
I know.
and I'm more than happy to meet with them individually as well, to kind of go over what
Okay.
what it means.
Okay, let me just think about it,
Okay.
but, yeah,
And that offer goes out to anybody who wants to sit down and we can talk about what that means or what that looks like.
You just can't have 2 members at one time.
Right. I could put them
Uh,
in 2 separate rooms and I could hop back and forth between.
Well, if they have 5 people on the board, could do two members.
yeah,
5?
yeah. We have 5, so you can, 2 members can be together.
Okay.
So,
So how is the appeal amount generated? Is that the 27 over so many years?
Did you get that document that was?
I did, but I can make sense of it. So
Yeah, that's what explains it. And I don't 100%, but
Okay.
they look at the growth of the state. And, that growth is calculated by, then you look at your particular area.
And Baker Tilly put that together in the
Yes.
paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
'Cause-
the minutia of it, I'm not
I totally get
not
that.
mathing that, but yeah,
That was the struggle I had with the CIP
Yes.
last week, so, okay. I will send that out to our board members and I will encourage them to reach out to you for any questions,
Yeah.
explain it prior to our meeting.
Yep.
And I'll try to give you a heads up you need if they're asking for you to come by, because I'm hoping you don't.
Oh, I know when your meetings are, so I just kind of keep them capped off just in case.
Okay.
And again, the stressor is because again, it puts people on edge when you think that you're gonna tax them more. And this is not exactly the climate you want to tell people you're taxing them. I'm not, right? We're
Because
not.
this is, the bill was meant to lower taxes, so if anything, is this an ask to keep it the same, if anything?
If worst case scenario, well, I don't know,
Well,
because that's a
yeah.
calculation.
Yeah, okay.
But if they're gonna save somebody $200 a household, then no, they would still save money because $400,000 doesn't equate to 200, because,
I get that.
yeah. Just it's really gonna it's affecting the revenue we do see from the TIF, those bigger taxpayers that aren't at their cap, it's really affecting
That's
that
who this would impact the most,
the most, yeah.
hypothetically.
Hypothetically,
Because this is just leaving the door open, we still have to sit down, you have to say, oh, we have to do an extra.
yeah, the initial appropriation and do all that stuff. So,
And even before that, you got to approve a budget.
right, right,
So The budget, it doesn't violate that control mechanism at all.
yeah.
Excellent.
It just allows your budget to be bigger than what it was limited by.
So you need just signed and returned prior to October 21st.
Yes, and that's, the 21st is the drop dead date.
And you do need a signature, because for the last one, you didn't, you just needed a motion.
Correct. That was for the budget.
Did you need anything from me from that?
If you have meeting minutes, I would, we don't need it, but it'd be nice to attach.
When do you want
if-
those by?
Just at your leisure.
Okay.
Yes,
I got things to catch you up on.
yeah.
So these pieces of paper here, it says Olive on it?
Yep, that'll go to Tina and it'll be at the next, the 8th, is that the 8th? That'll be on the agenda. Yes, sir.
October 8th, okay.
Yep. Anything?
Everybody good and clear on that?
Yep.
Or at least we know what we need to do if we're not.
Yep.
We'll get with Josh, so,
Absolutely.
okay, moving on, any old business we need to talk about? Marcia, everybody good? Good.
Oh, I have a piece of business. Did Allison have any questions about?
I was just thinking about that, because we need to vote on that on our at our next
7th.
meeting,
Yep.
the 7th,
Yep.
so I just wrote that
Okay.
down.
Yep.
This is the budget.
Yeah, so long story short is when I sent it over, it got put to junk and they didn't see it till the day of. And even though the budget had gone down, they wanted time to review it. I get it. So it is what it is. But their next meeting is the 7th and
Need it done before October, the end of October?
yeah, I need it done before the budget adoption on the 20th.
Which 20 and 30th for us. Okay, perfect. Wait, so it goes, they approve it and then it comes back here?
No,
Or
it
am I
goes,
misunderstanding?
no. Everybody to this point's approved it.
Yeah.
There's been a budget hearing and the final piece is Olive Township's October 20th meeting.
Oh,
So it's basically, that's just the last piece that's following.
when's your guys' meeting? We're gonna do this in the afternoon then.
We have it in the morning,
Yeah,
Perfect.
10 o'clock.
10, yeah.
Love it. Okay. 2 meetings a day.
Actually, you know what? Sometimes it's like, oh, a meeting's gonna be a couple hours, but you get a lot done. You get a lot done. And it is kind of refreshing. So
Yeah, absolutely.
at 2 hour mark at the bottom. Oof, time to go.
Let's move. Yeah.
All good there then, we'll move away from old business, so how about new business?
I didn't have it in my pocket this time. Well, good.
Good, well, do we want a motion to adjourn?
So move.
I'll second.
Thank you all.
Just gonna ask her that. Anders?
Yeah, everybody,